What's up, gravel junkies and scrambler slingers? Most of you know me from riding the Triumph Scrambler 400X through the forests and gravel roads of Scandinavia. But today, things are different. I'm in Belgium, and I've left the Scrambler behind to jump into the world of hard enduro. I'm riding a KTM EXC 125 two-stroke, and I'm joined by my brother on his KTM EXC 300. Also a two-stroke, and he's way more experienced at this kind of riding than I am. Even though it's not my first time on an enduro bike, I wanted to challenge myself, push my limits, and get a real taste of serious off-road riding. We'll go through 3 stages in this video. Stage 1 is a warm-up. Flowy dirt roads, smooth lines, and a chance to get comfortable. Stage 2 is where it gets steeper, rougher, and a bit sketchy. Stage 3. Well, that's where we find the limit. The point where skill, bike, and terrain collide. And in the end, I'll compare this raw enduro experience to the Triumph Scrambler 400X. What's better, what's worse, and if it's something you might want to try too. Let's kick things off with level 1, some easy, flowy dirt roads. My brother's already messing around on his KTM 300 because he'd be bored otherwise. For me, it's about adjusting to the KTM 125. These bikes have so much more pull than the Scrambler. They're lighter, twitchier, and way more aggressive. Every throttle input feels sharp, almost too sharp. It always takes me a minute to adapt. But boy, it's fun. Now, time to get serious. We're hitting some steep, rocky hill climbs. And honestly, I'm nervous. It's been a while since I've ridden anything like this. The terrain is brutal, and it really tests your clutch and gas control. Let me know in the comments how you think I handled it. And if you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep this going. Alright, level 3. This is where it gets intense. For my brother, riding the bike he's completely used to, it's just another trail. But for me, this is a challenge. I still haven't learned how to lift the front wheel properly. And when you don't have that skill, well, things can go a little wrong. You'll see.
Halten der GoPro ein bisschen mehr Gas geben. Kannst du das hintere Stein ziehen? Ja, das muss man gegen. Ich kann das Kinder wieder dagegen machen. Das müsste auch dahin kommen. Ja. Oh, der nicht mit. Oh, warte mal. Jetzt. Ja.
Ist übel?
Ich habe einen Stein in den Rücken bekommen.
Oh, okay.
Ungefähr das Beschissenste, was hätte passieren können. มัน
Yes, yes. Nice. Geht doch.
So, how does the Triumph Scrambler 400X stack up against a proper enduro bike like the KTM EXC 125? Well, it doesn't really. And that's the point. Stage 1, dirt roads, is where the Scrambler still feels at home. It's stable, smooth, and honestly more comfortable than the KTM. If I had to ride 100 kilometers of gravel, I'd choose the Scrambler any day. It eats up distance with way less effort, but once the terrain gets tricky, the comparison starts to fall apart. In Stage 2, on uneven terrain and hill climbs, the Scrambler shows its limits. It's heavy, harder to control in tight spots, and doesn't have the suspension or geometry to attack climbs. Meanwhile, the KTM just dances up these hills. It's lighter, more responsive, and purpose-built for this kind of punishment. Lastly, on Stage 3, this is where the Scrambler is completely out of its depth. You need to lift the front wheel, navigate sharp ledges, and react instantly. The KTM handles it. The Scrambler, it would struggle just to make it through without damage. So yes, it's apples and pears. But that's the beauty of it. The Scrambler is a great all-rounder for adventure riding and scenic exploration. That looks cool. The KTM is a scalpel for chaos. Riding both makes you respect what each bike is meant to do, and it shows how different riding can feel depending on what you're sitting on. Trying hard enduro made me ride the Scrambler differently too. More confident, more aware, and with a deeper appreciation for what it can do, and where to leave it behind. And that's a wrap. Thanks for sticking with me as I broke down the ins and outs of the Scrambler 400X. If you're new here, make sure to check out my other videos. I've got pure engine sounds from all sorts of rides already up, perfect for anyone craving that raw riding vibe. And trust me, there's a lot more coming your way. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join me for the ride.